Welcome back to Move Skill. Let's take a look at the movement today, dumbbell snatch. We use dumbbell snatch in our workout programming quite a bit because it's a real high value move. We can practice just a good basic athletic movement pattern. It's a good way to just add up the work, as you'll feel if you haven't already felt this. But we're also practicing some very fast athletic movements. There's a powerful hip extension in here, very quick movement. There's also a change of direction right in the middle of this movement. You explode up, and the split second you do that, you change directions and drop back down, which is all athletic. It takes coordination. So there's a lot of value comes from practicing dumbbell snatch, and at the same time, it's just a dumbbell. It's not the learning curve for this move is quite a bit easier than, say, learning a similar move with the barbell. So this movement falls into a family of movements that are related to Olympic weightlifting, but this is kind of an easy way to get our foot in the door and get some work done. So let's take a look now at specifics. I want to show today we're going to build this movement and break it down into some drills that'll help you put this together, put the whole thing back together in a nice complete package. So my lovely wife Nancy is going to help us today demoing. We'll see how this goes. And I want to start by just showing a couple of dumbbell snatches, right? So Nancy, will you grab this? And just from the ground, she's going to take this from the ground. The movement essentially is ground to overhead in one smooth movement, one quick, uninterrupted movement. One more time, please. Notice when she catches the weight right there, there's a pause for an instant to stabilize, to make sure you're stable, and then standing up. The movement's not done until you finish standing up and you're at full extension, hips, shoulders, arms, everything's open. Everything's open with the weight overhead. So let's break this movement down now. There's two big phases, and we're going to break this into drills, work on the drills, and then put the whole thing back together. The first phase is, and let me get you to turn sideways to the camera, please. The basic movement of, and yeah, they'll be able to see your hips well here. The basic movement of taking the dumbbell in her hand from the bottom position, the starting position, to the hips extended position. So weights on the ground, stand. That's it. Watch this again, please. Weight on the ground. Hips are back. She's driven her hips back as far as she can. Back is nice and straight. There's no bending over. Will you do that, please? Round your shoulders and kind of bend over to the ground. Don't be this person. Don't do this. If you're too tight to get to the ground, show that, please, where you come up, nice straight back, come part way up. Pretend you're too tight to get to the ground. There you go. Like, if you're too tight to get to the ground, maybe you start here. That's not wrong. But rounding your shoulders to reach the ground, that's wrong. Don't do that. So chest up, hips back, and if you can get there, dumbbell all the way on the ground, and from here, Nancy's going to extend her hips and just stand. That's the basic motion. Stand. Just stand. Okay, again, please do that 2 or 3 times. When you're building this movement at home, do this several times. Practice this basic hip extension. No real speed yet. Now we're going to add, will you turn 180, please? Turn all the way. I'm going to add a piece to this. So from that same basic movement, so hips back on the ground, this time stand and shrug. Stand and shrug, slow, slow. Stand and shrug. First hips open, then shoulders come up. Even slower, please. Break this down. First hips open, then shoulder comes up. So there's a nice strong pull through the hips, up through the shoulders. Hips, then shoulders. Okay, now we're going to make this fast, so I want you to do this quicker. So from the ground, what I'm going to say is jump, and she's going to stand and shrug hard. Jump. Again, hips back, ready, jump. So now we're starting to build the speed that we need, okay? There's one more aspect to this. This so far hasn't been powerful enough. So will you face the camera, please? Now she's going to stand and shrug with such force that there's going to be a little momentum, a little floating of the bell in here. So first do it with your arms straight and jump. Notice she's getting jammed up at the top because there's so much momentum in this bell. Again, one more time, hips back, jump. So I want you to run through this drill. Do it 4 or 5 times and develop that speed. Next thing to do is to allow the elbow to bend and let this momentum float that bell up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is say jump again. What Nancy's going to do is drive that bell up and let it float a little bit. Ready? Jump. Notice that, a little bit of hang time, a little bit of float there, and jump. Nice. You're trying to get as much momentum in this as you can. Right now, we got to tackle the other end of the movement. So from here, the next phase in a snatch movement is to get under it. Drop under the weight and receive this in an overhead position. So now we have a problem of, like I said earlier, switching directions. We have to drop. So we're going to do this drill first with a squat stance. Maybe turn sideways again, please. And just fairly quickly, just sit down, drop. Half speed, drop. Yeah, there you go. The basic movement is, again, it's flexing the hips, drop. There you go. This is too slow though, so now I'm going to get kind of up full extended, and when I yell drop, I want you to just drop as fast as you can. Ready? Drop. Yeah, so now we're trying to, this is not a powerful movement, but it's a very rapid movement. You're trying to get down as fast as you can. So fast as you can. Ready? Drop. Yeah. And one more time, speed. You're practicing speed. And drop. Good. So this is a good drill. So there's one piece missing, which is the actual receiving position, which, go ahead and face the camera again, overhead squat. So throw this together now, a few overhead squats, please. Go ahead and, no, just press the weight up. Yeah, just overhead. Nice shoulder extension here, push up hard. This weight has just launched in the air and then you've just jumped under it. And we need to be very aggressive about holding it. If you don't, it wobbles around and feels really sketchy. But if you push up hard through here and support that weight actively, you'll be fine, right? So maybe two from the side, turn, face the other way. There you go, side to the camera. And just a couple overhead squats. There you go, nice. Notice that she's not going all the way down. With the dumbbell snatch, we don't really need to go all the way down. It's more about driving the weight up. And just go down as far as you can and control it. Okay, so now let's put this together. We're going to do a little drill, and this drill will really help you tie this movement, the whole thing together. And it's a sequence of 3 movements. The first 2 are the same, jump, shrug, and then snatch. So let's show this face on first. So face the camera from the ground. The first thing she's going to do is come up with that hard, aggressive pull and just come back down. So ready? Jump. And again, jump. Practicing that powerful hip extension. That's what the snatch movement's about, driving up with your hips. Now she's going to put it together. In the middle of this hang time, she's going to drop under, receive the weight, hold that position for a moment to make sure she owns it, and stand up. Ready? Snatch. Bam. And stand. Another. From the ground, snatch. Bam. And stand. Aggressive movements here. Turn that way, please. So watch from the side. Same thing. Jump, shrug. Jump. One more of those. And jump. Boom. Practicing speed and power coming up. And now the full movement. Ready? Snatch. Yes. And stand. Notice this very aggressive owning the position at the bottom. And snatch. Bam. And stop. Maybe just show without, face the camera and do just a couple of snatches. Dumbbell snatch, the full movement without explanation. Thank you.